Sergio Hugo Quesada.
Thank you. Mr. Quezada, you were arrested based on an allegation of a violation of 827.03, subsection 2, subsection A, subsection 1. Are you requesting the services of the Public Defender's Office?
Yes, please.
Does he qualify for the services of the Public Defender's Office?
Should be a form on the back. He probably didn't fill one out. So I don't know if you want to just appoint him by the court and move forward. And then just
Based on his incarceration, I am going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender at this time to represent his interests. Ms. Cunningham, waiver of reading, or do you want me to?
Yes, Your Honor, we would request a waiver of reading at this time.
All right, thank you. Mr. Quezada, your newly appointed attorney has requested a waiver of your reading of the charges. That indicates to me that you know what the allegations against you are. Is that correct?
Correct.
You were arrested by warrant. I was the judge that signed the warrant, finding probable cause. Your bond in this case is set in the amount of $3,500. You may have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim in this case, except for contact that is recommended by the Department of Children and Families. Thank you, Mr. Quezada. No contact, except authorized by Department of Children. That'll conclude our hearing. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, I have this as a probable cause arrest for Sergio
Yes.
Quezada. It's a probable cause. I heard you state a warrant, just to clarify. It was a probable cause, correct?
No, there was a warrant signed by me yesterday.
He's incarcerated on probable cause.
Okay, let me take a look. Charging affidavit's February 18th and indicates that, it was a search warrant. Okay, this was, you were arrested based on probable cause. I do find probable cause for your arrest based on the allegations in the charging affidavit. Your bond is still set at $3,500 with the conditions previously announced. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, that's going to conclude our hearing this morning, or this afternoon. Thank you, sir. Jose Ulloa. Mr. Interpreter, this is Jose Ulloa. He has the equipment on. Case number is 2021 CF 2120. Good afternoon. You are Jose Ulloa.
Yes.
Court is appointing the Office of the Public Defender.
Your Honor, at this time, we'd ask for a waiver of reading.
Sir, your newly appointed attorney is requesting a waiver of the reading of charges, which indicates to me that you are aware of what those charges are. Is that correct?
Yes.
I note that we have a witness on this case. I have read the charging affidavit, and I do find probable cause for your initial arrest. Your name, please?
Nitsa Ulloa.
All right, and you are mom, correct?
Yes, I'm his wife and I'm the victim's mom.
All right, thank you. At this hearing, I will be considering issues of bond and issues of contact. Do you wish to provide any testimony?
Yes, please.
All right, we're going to swear you in.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. He's been terrorizing our family and my daughter, and I don't even know for how many years, and I do not think that he deserves to be anywhere near any of us, not even in this country. He needs to be sent back home, and my daughter needs justice.
Thank you. Does the state of Florida have any questions for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
Madam Assistant Public Defender, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ma'am, thank you for coming to court and giving us that information. Mr. Ulloa, I have read the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for the allegations as to counts 1 through 10. Your bond will be set in the amount of none. You're to have no contact with the minor child. And that will conclude our hearing. Thank you.
All state.
Next case that we have is Carolina Montano. Good afternoon, Ms. Montano.
Good afternoon.
Ms. Montano, you were arrested based on an allegation of battery, domestic violence related. I read the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for your initial arrest. I note that we have a witness present today. Sir, your name, please?
Diego Hernandez.
Mr. Fernandez?
Diego.
Thank you. Sir, we're going to place you under oath.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Mr. Hernandez, I am here to make determinations on bond conditions and contact provisions. Do you wish to provide the court with some information regarding those issues?
Oh, in Spanish, I'm sorry.
I'm having a difficult time hearing you, sir. I know this is
I can understand completely, so.
Your Honor, the interpreter will
En español.
do it over the loudspeaker so I can interpret for the witness.
All right, thank you.
Bien, señor. El juez estará tomando su opinión para establecer las condiciones de libertad y fianza si se otorgará alguna. ¿Tiene usted algo que opinar?
Pues en este momento lo único que digo es que yo quiero que ella esté en mi casa para atrás y que yo quiero buscar ayuda profesional para salvar el matrimonio.
The only thing I wanted to say right now is that I want her back home and that I want to be able to get some professional help so we can resolve this marriage.
Are there minor children at home, sir?
¿Hay hijos menores en la casa, señor?
La hija mía de 15 años.
My 15-year-old daughter.
Have there ever been any issues of violence or concern of violence regarding the children?
¿Alguna vez ha habido algún índice de violencia, alguna preocupación o inquietud de violencia hacia los niños?
No.
No.
If Ms. Montano was allowed to return home. Do you have any fear of further violence from yourself or with the children?
Si a la señorita Montana se le permitiera regresar a la casa, ¿tendría usted algún tipo de temor con respecto a violencia hacia usted o hacia algún menor?
No.
No.
State, do you have any questions for this witness?
Just briefly, Your Honor, has there been previous incidents of violence?
Fiscalía, alguna pregunta para el testigo. Una sola. ¿Alguna vez en el pasado ha habido algún indicio de violencia?
No lo escuché bien, perdón.
¿Alguna vez en el pasado ha habido algún incidente de violencia?
No.
No.
Nunca.
And are you willing to call 911 if anything were to happen in the future?
¿Y estaría usted dispuesto a llamar al 911 si algo ocurre en el futuro?
Pues sí.
Yes.
No further questions.
Thank
No tengo
you.
más preguntas.
She qualifies
Cunningham,
for
any
PTR.
questions?
No questions from the defense, Your Honor.
La defensa no tiene preguntas.
She qualifies for PTR, Judge.
Ella reúne los requisitos para la libertad provisional.
Thank you, sir, for your testimony today, and thank you for coming to court.
Gracias, señor, por su testimonio y por estar aquí presente hoy.
Okay.
Ms. Montano, the court is going to release you on a $100 bond plus pretrial release conditions.
Señorita Montano, se le emitirá una fianza de $100 más las condiciones de libertad provisional.
The condition of pretrial release is that you are to have no hostile contact with your husband.
Como condición de su libertad provisional se le prohíbe el contacto hostil con su esposo,
Or, if not your husband, your partner, Diego Hernandez.
si no es su esposo, pues su pareja, Diego Hernández.
You will be allowed to cohabitate and live together.
Se les permitirá convivir.
As a standard condition of pretrial release, you are to possess no weapons or firearms.
Como condición estándar de la libertad provisional se le prohíbe la tenencia de ningún tipo de arma.
State any other requested conditions of bond?
No, Your Honor.
¿Algo más que pedir? Fiscalía, no, su señoría.
All right.
Your Honor, is the public defender appointed?
I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Ms. Montano's interests.
Y se le asignará a la oficina del defensor público para que la represente.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Rivera Pena. Good afternoon, Mr. Rivera Pena.
Buenas tardes, señor Rivera Peña.
Mr. Rivera Pena, can you hear the interpreter?
Yes.
Mr. Rivera Pena, you are before the court on two allegations. One is threatening a public servant. I have read the charging affidavit, and I do find probable cause for that allegation in 2021 CF 2107. Your bond in that case will be set in the amount of $1,000. You are also charged with DUI, with property damage, and leaving the scene of a crash with property damage. As to the DUI allegation, I do find probable cause, and your bond will be set in the amount of $1,000. As to leaving the scene of a crash with property damage, I find probable cause for that allegation, and your bond will be set in the amount of $500. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests. Thank you, sir. Mendez Ruiz. Sorry?
Bonded, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Dent, do you need the services of an interpreter?
No.
Yes, no? All right. Is that the last of the interpreter cases we have?
Yes, Judge.
He needs the interpreter.
No, Your Honor, that was the last of the interpreter cases,
Thank you.
Judge.
Mr. Figueroa, thank you very much for your help.
Not a problem, Your Honor. Thank you.
Sir, you are Mr. Dent?
Yes.
All right, thanks. Mr. Dent, you are here based on an allegation of criminal mischief. I read the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for that allegation. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000, and I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests. Madam Pretrial Release Officer, I have another list of cases on the charges.
Yes, Judge, he's been incarcerated since February 12th. However, this is the only case that he hasn't been heard on. This was an add-on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. All right, so that'll do it for us. Thanks. Yes, sir? I'm having a tough time hearing you, Mr. Dent.
I had a bond revoked and I wanted to talk about getting my bond back.
Yeah, that wasn't my decision. You're going to have to go in front of your trial judge to make that determination. I just granted you a bond on this new case.
All
But
right.
I'm not sure which case your bond was revoked on. You'll need to go in front of your trial judge and have that discussion. Stay in contact with your attorney, and they'll let you know how to do that, okay?
Okay, you know if I could get a motion to release from my lawyer.
Yeah, I can't help you with that, and I can't give you legal advice, but you'll need to talk to your attorney. I understand it's frustrating waiting for information, but I don't have any additional information for you this morning. Prince Oxenat?
That wasn't refused.
Okay. Right, is he already a client of the Public Defender's Office? Miss Cunningham? Oxenat?
He refused.
Yeah, I know. OCCENAT, thank you.
One moment, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Your Honor.
He's already a client?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thanks. His new offense is 2021 CF 2109. I'm going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent him on that case. Do you wish to waive his appearance, or you want me to recall him tomorrow?
Your Honor, we'd like to waive his appearance at this time.
All right, thanks. I'm going to accept that waiver of his appearance. I read the charging affidavit. Do find probable cause for possessing drug paraphernalia and possessing a controlled substance without a prescription. Bonds in count 1 will be set in the amount of $250 as to count 2 in the amount of $1,000. He unfortunately is out on bond on a number of cases. That being 2021 CF 2021 CF 374A and 2020 MM 8717. As to both of those cases, the court has probable cause to believe he committed a new law offense while he was out on bond. Bond on both of those cases is revoked and set at none. Thank you. You, Mr. Williams? Is Mr. Williams a current client of the Office of the Public Defender?
May I have a moment, Your Honor?
Of course.
Your Honor, I'm not seeing any open cases, but he has been a client in the past.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the Office of the Public Defender in 2021 CF 2096. We're showing he's not represented, and we know he's incarcerated on that case. Do you wish for him to be recalled, or do you wish to waive his appearance?
Your Honor, we'd waive his appearance at this time.
Thank you. Court finds a probable cause for possession of MDMA. Bond in that case will be set in the amount of $500. He unfortunately is out on bond. on another case, that case being 2020 CF 797. He's represented by Attorney Cheek. In that case, the court's going to find probable cause that he has committed a new law offense while out on bond. Going to revoke his bond in that case, set no bond. Thank you. Aparicio? Ernesto Aparicio?
Your Honor, he was restricted.
Okay, is that based on medical?
Medical.
All right, thank you. Court's going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender in 2021 CF 2098. Do you wish to waive his appearance, or would you like me to try and recall him?
We'd waive his appearance, Your Honor.
Accept that waiver. I have read the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for the initial arrest. Bond in his case is going to be set in the amount of $1,000. Does he qualify for pretrial release?
He does, Your Honor.
It's going to be $1,000 with pretrial release conditions that he have no contact with the victim and he not return to the scene where this occurred.
So bond and PTR, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Delgado?
He's also medically restricted.
Right. The court is going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. Delgado in 2021 CF 1874.
Your Honor, we'd waive his appearance at this time.
Thank you. Court accepts that waiver. I have read the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for the allegation of aggravated battery on a pregnant person. Court is going to set a bond in the amount of $1,000 with the pretrial release. The pretrial release conditions will be no contact with the victim and no return to the scene. He also has a new trespass case. That is in 2021 MM1230. Court will appoint the Office of the Public Defender on that case as well. Set bond in the amount of $100.
Your Honor, are you only wanting him supervised on the felony case?
Yes, please.
Thank you, Judge.
Jeremy Francis. Good afternoon, Mr. Francis. Mr. Francis, you were arrested based on allegations of false imprisonment, criminal mischief, and battery domestic violence related. Took a look at the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for, I'm sorry, that was pursuant to a warrant, so a judge has already found probable cause for those allegations. I'm inclined to set bonds in your case. Bond in count 1 is going to be set in the amount of $1,000. Bond in count 2 is going to be set in the amount of $500. Bond in count 3 is going to be set in the amount of $1,500. As a condition of your bond, you are not to have any contact with the alleged victim in this case. And that would be Delaney Tuttle. And do you have personal belongings at the Glen Cove Circle address? Okay. All right. How about, so nothing in apartment 206? All right, thank you. And I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Brandon Kettleson. Thank you. This Kettleson, medically restricted. All right, the court is inclined to appoint the Office of the Public Defender in 2021 CF 2116.
Your Honor, we'd waive his appearance at this time.
Thank you. Court accepts that waiver. I have read the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for the following allegations: battery, domestic violence by strangulation, a separate instance of battery, domestic violence by strangulation, an allegation of battery, domestic violence, and an allegation of tampering with a witness. To count 1, bond will be set in the amount of $1,500. To count 2, in the amount of $1,500. To count 3, bond will be set in the amount of $500. And as to count 4, bond will be set in the amount of $250 with pretrial release conditions. Those pretrial release conditions being no contact with the alleged victim in this case and no return. Yes, please. Marilyn Marquez.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Ms. Marquez. Ms. Marquez, you were arrested based on an allegation of 827.03, subsection 2, subsection A, subsection 1. Inclined to appoint at this time the Office of the Public Defender in that case.
Your Honor, we ask for a waiver of reading.
Court accepts that waiver. Ms. Marquez, your newly appointed attorney has requested a waiver of the reading of the charges. That indicates to me that you know what the allegations are against you. Is that correct? Is that a yes? We're recording your responses.
One moment, Your Honor.
Ms. Marquez, did that assist at all?
Sorry?
Did the amplification equipment assist at all, or do you just...
No, I can hear you better.
You just need me to speak up?
Yes, please.
All right, thank you. Ms. Marquez, I have appointed the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests at this hearing and moving forward. They have requested a waiver of the reading of the allegations against you, which indicates to me that you are aware of what those allegations are against you. Is that correct?
Yes.
I have reviewed the charging affidavit in this case, and I do find probable cause for the allegation and your subsequent arrest. I am inclined to set a bond in the amount of $3,500. As a condition of your bond, you are not to have any contact with the alleged victim in this case, other than what is recommended by the Department of Children and Families, and you will be contacted with that information. I suspect that you will be informed that you may have supervised contact through the department.
Would you want me to say unless modified by,
Unless modified by the Department of Children and Families. That's going to conclude our hearing this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sydney Patterson? Thank you, officer. Mr. Patterson's case in 2021 CF2071, the court is going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. Patterson's, I think it's Mr. Patterson's interests.
Your Honor, we waive their appearance at this time.
Court accepts that waiver. I have reviewed the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for the arrest, counts battery, domestic violence related, and battery, felony battery. As to count 1, the court will set bond in the amount of $500. As to count 2, I will set bond in the amount of $500. As to both counts, the court will add pretrial release with the special conditions that he have no contact with the victim and not return to the scene. Thank you. Kenneth Correll. Thank you, officer. In 21 MM1240, the court is going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. Correll's interests.
Your Honor, we waive his appearance at this time.
Court accepts that waiver. Court has reviewed the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for the allegation. I note that this is a second allegation, including the same victim pursuant to an arrest in August of 2020. As such, the bond will be somewhat elevated. Bond will be set in the amount of $2,500. As a condition of bond, he is to have no contact whatsoever with the victim and not return to the location where this occurred. Shanice McKenzie?
Yes.
Good afternoon. Ma'am, you were arrested based on an allegation
Yes.
of battery, domestic violence related. I read the charging affidavit. I find probable cause for your initial arrest. I am inclined to grant you a bond in this matter in the amount of $500 plus pretrial release conditions. Those conditions at this time are going to be that you have no contact with the alleged victim in this case, and you are not to return to the location where this occurred. Correct. And I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests. Thank you. Gustavo Parra Rodriguez. Thank you, officer. Court will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. Parra Rodriguez in 2021 MM 62.
We will waive his appearance at this time.
Court accepts that waiver of appearance. I have read the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for the allegation of battery, domestic violence related. The court will set a bond in the amount of $500 plus pretrial release conditions. With those conditions, oops, do we have a witness in that case? No. With the special conditions that he have no contact whatsoever with the victim and not return to the scene. Jocelyn Pollock.
Jocelyn Pollock.
Good afternoon, Ms. Pollock.
Good afternoon.
Ms. Pollock, you were arrested based on an allegation of battery, domestic violence, and resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause for your initial arrest. I note that we have a witness that is present. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We're going to place you under oath.
Please raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes, ma'am.
During this hearing, I am considering conditions of bond and whether contact is appropriate in this case. Can you tell me your name, please?
My name is Jocelyn Pollock.
All right, thank you. And you are the alleged victim in this case, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Do you wish for me to have any information about conditions of bond or whether you wish to have contact?
Yes, I would love to have contact because that's my sister. She's like my mom, and like I haven't been nowhere.
I'm having a kind of a difficult time hearing you, and that's kind of a directional microphone, so feel free to grab that microphone and get it close to your face if you can.
I was saying, yes, I wish to have contact because that's like my mom right there. I haven't been nowhere. I don't have me no shelter. Like, I need my sister. And, like, I don't even know why it was a charge on her because I didn't press any charges nor wrote a statement.
All right, thank you. If the court were to consider allowing Ms. Pollock to come back to the house, do you have any fear of further violence?
Never. Would never feel like that.
Do you have a way to contact law enforcement? Do you have a cell phone?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Have there been any instances of violence in the past?
Never.
Any minor children in the home?
No. No.
State, do you have any questions of Ms. Pollock?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No questions, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Your Honor, may I have a moment?
Yes, of course.
Has a public defender been appointed to this case?
I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Ms. Pollock.
Your Honor, the defense would ask if the court would be inclined to release Ms. Pollock on ROR. As we just heard from the alleged victim, she did state that this is like her mother. She does help with shelter. It is very important that she be out and be able to help and make sure that everyone is taken care of.
I understand that request. I do note some prior convictions alleging battery and a prior allegation of DV that was dropped, so I'm not going to consider that. Let me take a look. Last conviction was for battery, touch, or strike, and there was a juvenile conviction for battery, domestic violence related. Not inclined to release her on ROR, but I will set a nominal bond in the amount of $250 plus pretrial release conditions. Ms. Pollock, you're to have no hostile contact based on the testimony of the alleged victim today. No hostile contact means you guys can't fight, you can't yell at each other, you can't get in her face, and you obviously can't put your hands on her. And you will be allowed to cohabitate. You understand?
Yes.
All right.
Judge, what was the bond on count 2?
As to count 2, let me take a look.
Excuse me. Can I ask a question?
I'm not sure I have a charging affidavit on count 2.
Your Honor, it appears to be under the same case number.
I see that. Let me see if... Okay, it's in the second paragraph. I'm going to set bond the amount of $100 as to count 2.
Thank you, Judge.
Excuse me, how much you
$250.
said?
Does she qualify for straight PTR on
Yes,
count 2?
Judge.
Hold on just a sec. I'm gonna delete the monetary bond. You'll be released on straight pretrial release on count 2. $250 in pretrial release.
Your Honor, since it's the same case number, so are you RORing her on the second count?
She can't just go to straight PTR on count 2, and bond and PTR
I
on
think
count
they can
1.
do that. Yes, Judge.
Is that too complicated?
No, Judge. No,
All
Your
right,
Honor.
thanks.
So you just want straight PTR on count 2?
Yes.
And then bond and PTR on count
Yes,
1?
because I don't think I can straight PTR on count 1. Correct?
You can, Judge. Under Orange County's administrative order, you can straight PTR battery charges.
I wondered why I was confusing Madam Clerk, because we're not allowed to do that in.
And now I'm...
I know.
Emails from Osceola. I gotta reread the email.
Okay. All right.
It's your discretion, Your Honor.
Good to know moving forward. Yeah, on this case, I'm going to amend the bond. No bond, I'll delete the bond on count 1, straight PTR, both counts.
Thank you, Judge.
Your Honor, I just wanted to understand, so she's being released on pretrial release?
Correct.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You, Mr. Rowe? Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Mr. Rowe. Mr. Rowe, you were arrested based on an allegation of battery, domestic violence. I have taken a look at the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for your initial arrest. You want to set a bond in the amount of $500 as to this allegation, plus the conditions at this point that you have no contact with your son and not return to the location on Edenshire Circle until this gets sorted out. Do you have personal belongings there, Mr. Rowe? You have personal belongings on Edenshire? Is that your house?
Home.
And your son lives there?
Yes, he lives with me.
All right. For right now, you're going to be allowed to return one time with law enforcement, get some personal belongings. You can petition your trial court or your trial judge to amend the conditions of the bond.
He lives with me.
How old is he?
He's 19. And he's on probation right now for another offense where he actually...
He didn't qualify for
I don't
PTR,
know
right?
what to say. He did.
Judge, we weren't able to verify any of his information. He didn't provide us with any emergency contacts, and the number that was provided by law enforcement for the victim is not accepting calls, so we were unable to verify any community ties for him.
I'm going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests, Mr. Rowe. I don't have any information from the victim, and as such, I'm not going to authorize contact. So you're not going to be able to go back there except one time to get some personal belongings until this gets sorted out. Your new attorney will be able to get you in front of your judge and request that judge, if he's going to move out or whatever, to amend the conditions of bond. But for right now, it's no contact, no return. And yep. All right. Thanks, Mr. Rowe. Sorry, I can't be more helpful than that.
That's okay.
I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. Osceola sending me?
Yeah.
Derek Smith? Thanks, officer. I'm going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. Smith, 2021 MM1234.
We'd waive his appearance at this time, Your Honor.
He is restricted. I'll accept that waiver of his appearance. I have read the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for the allegation of battery, domestic violence related. The court's inclined to release him on pretrial release based on his low risk assessment results. As a condition of his pretrial release, he's to have no contact with the victim and not return to the scene.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Can we have a one-time return with law enforcement if needed?
Yes. He may return one time with law enforcement if he needs to get some personal belongings. Anthony Tompkins. Thank you. Court's going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. Tompkins on 2019 MM 8202.
Your Honor, we'd waive his appearance at this time.
Court accepts that waiver. I have reviewed the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for the allegation. I note that his Florida arrest history indicates a domestic violence allegation twice before on the same victim. Bond will be raised in the amount of $2,500. As a condition of that bond, he is not to have any contact with the victim and not to return to the location.
He has a private attorney already in contact.
Okay, as to count 2, bond will be set. This was an arrest by warrant. As to count 2, it appears that that is a straight battery allegation, so bond will be set in the amount of $500 as to that case.
And he has a private attorney on this case already, so do you still want to appoint the temporarily to wait?
Yeah, I'm going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender provisionally. He may have an outside counsel, but since he's not able to join us today and is medically restricted, I want to make sure that
And do you want,
he has representation while he's here.
and do you want to keep the do not possess any weapons or firearms?
Yes,
that's in
please.
there? Okay.
Thank you. Ms. Waite,
Yes.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Ms. Waite, you were arrested based on an allegation of battery, domestic violence related. I read the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for your initial arrest. I note that we have a witness present. Thank you for your patience, sir. We're going to swear you in.
Okay.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, can you tell me your name?
Sean Aldridge.
Thank you. Mr. Aldridge, you are alleged to be the victim in this case. I am considering conditions of bond and contact provisions. Do you wish to be heard as to that?
Do I wish to be heard?
Yeah. You want to tell me something to consider?
Get her out of here, man. She ain't supposed to be in here.
All right. Okay.
She ain't supposed to be here, man. It was just a big misunderstanding.
That's what
She
we're
ain't
going to
supposed to be in jail, man.
That's what we're going to be talking about right now.
Bring her home, please.
That's what we're going to be
Please.
talking about right now. I got some specific questions for you. If she was released and allowed to return home, do you have any fear of further violence?
No, sir. Not at all.
Any children in the home?
Yes.
Okay. How old are the kids?
7, 5, and 3.
Any concerns of any violence or any past violence with respect to the children?
Absolutely not. No.
Do you have a cell phone that you can contact law enforcement if there's a problem?
Do I have one? Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks. And any instances of past violence between you and Miss Waite?
No, just arguments. Nothing crazy. This is just a misunderstanding, man.
All right. Thank you. State, any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
Nothing from the defense.
All right. Thank you. We'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Miss Waite. I do find, based on the risk assessment results being low and her qualification for pretrial release, that pretrial release is appropriate in this case. I will order that she have no hostile contact with Mr. Aldridge. No hostile contact means exactly what it sounds like. You guys can't argue loud. You can't put your hands on each other. You can't get in each other's faces for the time being. And as a condition of your pretrial release, and any additional requested sanctions from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. All right. You're eligible for release on pretrial release. You should be out today.
Thank you. Is that, may I ask a question?
Of course.
Is that like ROR? Is that what you're saying?
Pretrial release is a little stricter than ROR. You just have to check in with them, and as a condition of your pretrial release, you have to have no hostile contact with Mr. Aldridge.
Not a problem.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Angel Alvarez. Good afternoon, Mr. Alvarez.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Alvarez, you were arrested based on an allegation of violating your pretrial release in a couple cases, 2020 CF 14361 and 2020 CT 7417. Judge Calderon issued no bond for you. Judge Bigney issued no bond for you. I note that you're also out on bonds on a 2021 case, 2021 CF 309. I'm not going to take any action as to that case, but you do have no bond on the two cases that I just cited, and I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interest. They'll get you in front of Judge Calderon and Judge Bigney to see if they're willing to grant you a bond. Thanks. Mr. Arce?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Arce.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr. Arce, you were arrested based on an allegation of petty theft with 2 prior theft convictions and resisting an officer without violence. Allegations are you snatched the bowl from the apartment complex and gave the officer a hard time. Based on, I don't want you to talk about the facts of the case because we're recording you, but based on the allegations in the affidavit, which I have to consider as true if find probable cause, I'm going to lower your bond in count 1 in the amount of $500, and your bond in count 2 will be set in the amount of $500. And I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
Your Honor, I would like to confirm that I do not have 2 or 3 thefts. I have 1 theft that was a plea deal that I took that when I went to Santa Rosa in 2009. So that's not no...
Okay. I hear what you're saying, and I don't want to cut you off. You need to listen to the Assistant Public Defender.
I know, Your Honor, but I would like to be all and that's why I'm speaking on my behalf.
All right. I'm sure your public defender is counseling you not to talk about the facts of the case, but I'm certainly
I understand,
happy to hear
Your
you out.
Honor, but the facts will help me get released.
I understand.
And if this was
Okay.
the...
Well, let's swear you in. If you're gonna talk to me about something, I need to swear you in. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd like the record to reflect that the public defender has advised him not to speak about the facts of his case.
I suspected as much, but certainly can't prevent you from speaking in open court if you wish to talk to me, sir. What do you want me to know?
Yes, Your Honor. The fact of the matter is that I only have 1 theft, and it was a reduction of a sentence. That was an illegal sentence when I went to Santa Rosa CI in 2009. So,
All right. So you're telling me that the charge of petty theft with 2 prior theft convictions, which elevates it to a felony allegation, is what's incorrect, correct?
Exactly correct,
Okay.
Your Honor.
All right, thanks. I have reduced your bond down to the bond amount that you would have gotten for a misdemeanor petty theft in the amount of $500. And the resisting an officer without violence, I have granted you a bond. And I inadvertently raised that. I'm going to lower that, Madam Clerk, to the $100. I'll stay it at the $100. So your bond is $600, and the Office of the Public Defender is appointed, and that would be the bond that I would have given you if you had a misdemeanor petty theft allegation.
Yes,
So,
Your Honor.
Got it?
I understand that, but
Right.
what I'm trying to clear it is that my mother and my father are dead. I don't have no family. I don't have no support system. And this was illegal, the charge of this theft that you reduced, and it's great that you reduced it, but I don't have the money right now, exactly right now, to get out. So I was hoping and praying that it would be like a regular weekday, and I would have gotten out right now with RR.
I'm not
When
sure
it was
that you
not
would have got
District
out
9 from
ROR,
Osceola, Your Honor.
but here's what's going to happen.
Because I was in Osceola and they do not give they do not give plea deals on first appearance, but here they do on Monday through Friday.
Okay. All right. I've heard you out. I want you to listen to me, and then
Yes,
that's going to
sir.
be the end of our discussion.
Yes, Your Honor.
You've got bonds on your case. I understand that those bonds may be more than you can afford based on your testimony. Your attorney's aware of that. They're going to try and get you in front of the trial judge and see if something else can happen. I'm the initial appearance judge, so All I'm going to do today is grant you bonds. I reduce your bonds from what was requested, and that's where we are today. So,
I would like to request an adversary hearing as soon as possible.
all right, you've been appointed
Could you
to the
put it
Office
in
of the
record,
Public
please?
Defender, and should they join in that request, they
Yes,
can
I would
file
like
that.
that to go on record. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Is it Mr. Arpahia? Joshua Arpahia? Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Arpahia has a new felony offense allegation in 2021 CF 2097A. Alleges 6 counts. I'm going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. Arpahia's interest in that case.
We will waive his appearance at this time.
Thank you. Court has reviewed the charging affidavits in that case, and I do find probable cause for the allegations of grand theft, motor vehicle. Bond will be set in the amount of $1,000. Possession of methamphetamine. Bond will be set in the amount of $150. Possession of heroin. Bond will be set in the amount of $150. Resisting an officer without violence. Bond will be set in the amount of $100. Possession of drug paraphernalia. Bond will be set in the amount of $100. Carrying concealed weapon. Bond will be set in the amount of $100. He's also out on bond on 3 cases. 2021 CF 2097, 2020 CF 9211, 2020 CF 14938, 2020 CF 14960. As to those cases, the court has probable cause to believe Mr. Arapia has violated the conditions of his release. Bonds will be revoked. Bonds are revoked. No bond will be granted as to each of these cases. Thank you. Mr. Alt. Thank you, officer. All right. Mr. Alt as well was arrested on a new allegation in 2021 CF 2099. The court will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent his interest in that case.
We'll waive his appearance at this time.
Court accepts that waiver, finds that there is probable cause for his arrest, trafficking in methamphetamines over 28 grams. Bond in that case will be set in the amount of $100,000. I note that he's already out on a trafficking in 28 grams or more of methamphetamine allegation. In 2019, CF 13523. Bonds in that case are revoked. Bond is set in the amount of none. Court has probable cause to believe he's committed a new felony offense while out on bond. Verdecia? Thank you. Mr. Verdecia, in 2021, CF 2103 has been accused of a new law offense of possessing fentanyl and possessing drug paraphernalia. Court finds probable cause, sets bond in count 1 in the amount of $1,000, count 2 in the amount of $500, and the public defender's office has previously been appointed. Was that a waiver? Sorry, I didn't ask.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court accepts a waiver of his appearance, and I've made a probable cause determination and granted bonds on those cases. Timothy Capron. Good afternoon, sir. Mr. Capron, you are before the court based on a new law allegation. In 2021, CF 2105, that allegation being possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting an officer without violence. I find probable cause for those allegations. Bond in count 1 will be set in the amount of $1,000. As to count 2 in the amount of $100, as to count 3 in the amount of $100. And I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender on that case. You are also noted to be out on a surety bond on 3 separate cases. 2020 CF 1334, 2020 CF 13905, and 2020 CF 13882. Court has probable cause to believe that you have committed a new law offense while you are released on bond. As to each of those cases, your bond is revoked. Bond will be set in the amount of none. And I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender on each of those cases if not previously appointed. Thank you. Mohammed Delholm. Thank you. Mr. Delholm was arrested based on an allegation in 2021 CF 2094, the allegation being aggravated battery. I have reviewed the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for the allegation. We'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent his interests.
Your Honor, we'll waive his appearance at this time.
I accept the waiver of appearance. Bond will be set in the reduced to the amount of $1,500 with the special condition that he have no contact with the victim in this case. Robert Day. Thank you. Mr. Day bonded out. Christopher Inoveso. Thank you. Mr. Inoveso was arrested based on an allegation in 2021 CF 2100, that being trafficking in fentanyl, 4 grams or more, and possessing cocaine. I reviewed the charging affidavit. Do find probable cause for his arrest. He also has a second case in 2021 CF 2102, trafficking in heroin, over 4 grams, and possessing cocaine. I read the charging affidavit and find probable cause for that allegation as well. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender on both cases.
Your Honor, we'll waive his appearance on both cases.
As to both cases, court will accept that waiver. Bond in 2021 CF 2102 count 1 is set in the amount of $100,000. Bond in count 2 is set in the amount of $1,000. Bond in count 1 in 2021 CF 2100 set in the amount of $100,000, and account 2 in the amount of $1,000. Reduced to 1,500 with no contact with the victim. Which one was that? That was the one we just did? Yeah. Yeah. Con's got 2. I don't remember doing Mr. Capron. Oh, wait. I missed one of the allegations. He also had a driving license with knowledge. I missed one of Mr. Capron's crimes. Do we still have him, or did he go back? Mr. Capron had another Dwillis. Okay. I appointed the Office of the Public Defender on Mr. Capron's case in 2021. On his other cases, he had another case. That case, Ms. Cunningham, is 2021 CF 2106, driving while license revoked as a habitual traffic offender. I would appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent him on that case as well.
Your Honor, what was that case number?
2021 CF 2106.
Thank you.
Mr. Capron's bonds got revoked on all of his other felony cases. So on this case, I'll set bond the amount of $500 and appoint the Office of the Public Defender.
And yes, Your Honor, and we would waive his appearance as to this case.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I find probable cause on that case. Bakari Hayes. Thank you. Mr. Hayes was arrested based on an allegation 2021 CF 2086 of aggravated assault with a firearm. I have read the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for that allegation. Bond will be set in the amount of $5,000 to have no contact with the alleged victim. And not to return to the vacation lodge. Possess no weapons or firearms as a condition of his bond.
Your Honor, is the Public Defender's Office appointed?
Appoint the Office of the Public Defender.
We'll waive his appearance.
Thanks, Ms. Cunningham. Barry Kinsey. All right. Madam Pretrial Release Officer, I have a bunch of cases on Mr. Kinsey. Only two before us today.
I'm sorry, Judge, could you say that again?
Mr. Kinsey has 4 separate cases on the face sheet.
Yes, Your Honor. He only needs to be heard on 2021 CF 2091 and 2020 CF 002092.
Thank you very much. All right, I have reviewed the charging affidavits in 2021 CF 2091 and 2021 CF 2092. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. Kinsey's interest on those cases.
Your Honor, we waive his appearance.
Find probable cause for the allegations in 2091, burglary of a conveyance, burglary of a structure, and 2 additional counts of burglary of conveyance. So count 1, bond will be set in the amount of $150. Is to count 2 in the amount of $3,500. I'm going to reduce that down to $2,500. Count 3 in the amount of $150 and count 4 in the amount of $150. As to 2021 CF 2092, I find probable cause for all 8 counts. Count 1 being burglary of conveyance, set at $150. I'm going to reduce the bond in count 2 to the amount of $2,500. The remaining counts 3 through 8 will be $150 each. Is not to return to the scene where this occurred as a condition of bond. I'm sorry? Quan? I'm just having a hard time hearing. Next case that I had was Kwun, K-W-U-N. Did Mr. Kwun bond out?
I'm checking for you, Your Honor. Can you spell the last name for me, Your Honor?
K-W-U-N. I didn't have a face sheet on him, so he might have bonded out.
Edwin bonded, Your Honor.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Bonded out?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Dontavius Mitchum.
He's a refusal.
Refusal?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Mitchum was arrested in an allegation in 2021 CF 2101. The allegation being possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of firearm or ammunition by a convicted felon, and providing a false identification to a law enforcement officer. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent his interests. Do you wish to waive his appearance, or do you want me to bring him tomorrow?
We'd waive his appearance, Your Honor.
Accept that waiver. Court finds probable cause for the allegations. Bond in count 1 is going to be raised to the amount of $5,000. Bond in count 2 is going to be raised to the amount of $1,000. Bond in count 3 is going to be raised to the amount of $1,000. As a condition of any bond, he is not to possess any weapons or firearms. You must be Miss Moore. Thank you for your patience, Miss Moore.
Yes, I'm sorry.
So thanks for your patience, Ms. Moore. Ms. Moore, you were arrested based on an allegation that you failed to appear.
Yes,
Looks like that was out of Division 12, out of Orange County. You were granted a bond in the amount of $1,000. Your bond will remain at $1,000, and I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Thanks. Jesus Moriello Lorano.
Your Honor, he's restricted.
Restricted, thank you. He was arrested in 2019, CF 3152, pursuant to a failure to appear warrant. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent his interest. He has a bond amount of $2,000.
Yes, Your Honor, we waive his appearance.
Thank you. We'll accept that waiver. Ricky Neal. Thank you. Mr. Neal was arrested in 2021, CF 2084. The allegations being burglary with structure, dealing in stolen property, and grand theft third degree. That was pursuant to a warrant. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. Neal's interests.
Your Honor, we waive his appearance.
Judge Beamer issued bonds in the amount of $2,500 as to count 1, $1,000 as to count 2, $1,000 as to count 3. Thank you.
No return, no contact.
No return to the scene.
Did you want no contact as well?
Is it a victim crime? Yeah, no just the conditions as announced by Judge Beamer. Quiles Santiago.
Your Honor, he's restricted also.
Thank you. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. Quiles Santiago in 2021 CF 2070. The allegations being possessing cocaine, possessing drug paraphernalia, and possessing cannabis.
We waive his appearance at this time.
We'll accept that waiver. Bonds are set in the amount of $1,000 as to count 1, $100 as to count 2, $100 as to count 3. I believe he also has a second. Does he have a second case, or has that already been addressed?
He has an additional case, Judge.
Sorry, I think this is it. He also has a second case in 2021, CT 41400. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent his interest in that case as well.
We waive his appearance in that one.
Thank you. We'll accept his waiver of appearance. He is charged with DUI. I read the charging affidavit. It supports a probable cause finding of DUI. Bond in that case would be set in the amount of $500.
Your Honor, he does qualify for pretrial release.
Both cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
I missed it, sorry. Court's going to order that he be released. I'll amend the bond as previously announced. He'll be released, pretrial release on both cases, 2020 CT 1400 and 2021 CF 2070. Sorry about that.
Your Honor, will there be any special conditions of release?
He's not to possess or consume any alcohol or controlled substances. He's to not drive without a valid driver's license.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Derek Ricketts.
He's also restricted.
Thank you. Mr. Ricketts is before the court on 2014 CF 16819. The allegations being failing to appear. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender in that case.
We'd waive his appearance.
Thank you. Defendant failed to appear for trial on May 19, 2015. That judge issued no bond. He's going to remain on no bond until he can get in front of the trial judge. And I will complete that here. Need about a 3-minute recess, so I'm going to take about a 3-minute recess. Thanks. Do Mr. Thompson had to set aside for some reason? It was over there. Okay, sorry about that.
Thank you.
Wait on paperwork. He set my file over there. So he's been doing paperwork. It's sitting over there.
Standing there for like 3 hours. What is happening?
I appreciate you.
Okay, thank you.
It helps with the bonds people. If you have paperwork or whatever, then they'll start doing stuff. Otherwise, they don't wait 3 hours for it to show up at you. Too nice of a day to be in here.
The what?
Too nice of a day to be in here.
Oh, I
It's
know.
beautiful out there.
I know.
Yesterday, who cares? It was like raining, crappy all day. Whatever. Today, no. I don't know what tomorrow's supposed to be.
I don't know. I always thought Monday's supposed to be really hot. I mean, not really hot, but like 85.
Yeah, well, that's normal lately, unfortunately. Not looking forward to going back to that. We have like a couple of days of winter and then it's summer. We don't have spring, we don't have fall. Did you grow up here or did you grow up somewhere else?
No, I was raised in Puerto Rico. But
Okay,
I'm
it's
sure.
good. Okay, so you're,
15 years.
I grew up in Ohio and I'm used to,
Yeah.
winter, not that I like that. But fall was nice and spring was nice. It's nice to have a little,
Right.
and it's just like, Christmas isn't Christmas.
Yeah, I know.
You go to the mall and you see all this like fake snow and like
Yeah.
Santa, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
It's like you're shopping for Christmas the day before Christmas, and it's like 85 degrees or whatever. It's
I know.
like, it's real hard to get into the
Horrible.
whole drinking hot chocolate, and like, you know what I mean? It's like, no.
Yeah, no.
But my parents still live there. They're getting hammered right now. It's freezing up there. And those poor people are taxed. Oh, God.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
I was reading an article a while back. You've heard of Six Flags, right? The amusement park?
Yeah, the amusement park.
Why is it called Six Flags?
I have no idea.
Okay. So Six Flags is based out of Texas, the amusement park. And apparently during the entire time of Texas, they've been under Six Flags. At one point, they were, obviously they're under the American flag. At one point, they were their own sovereign country. They had their own flag. And then they were under the flag of Mexico. And I think they were under the flag of like Spain. I mean, it's crazy. But
That's
I mean, it
crazy.
makes sense that when
Yeah.
you think about it.
They came up with the perfect name.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Not that it's good enough to be in the amusement park, but it'll come back. It's gonna take a little time. People get comfortable.
Yes.
Hey, is this just, no, they paid us to say. I'm trying to
go home.
Okay. Y'all, it's a different line.
Is this normal? This seems long.
It is, I mean, the last time I did it, which was like a year ago, we were here till like 4:30.
Really?
Dude, I had you femur last time. She was like,
Yeah, that's usually how it is. Yeah, that's usually how
I'm gonna ask them if, what time we're starting tomorrow, because.
oh, I got someone to cover me tomorrow.
Oh, you did? You're like, I'm not going to this ever.
I have
Do they
trial
know?
on Monday.
Do they know?
Yes, they know. No, I have trial on Monday, so like, I was like, okay, be out of here like 2 o'clock. I'll go. I'll child
Yeah.
prep.
What's the trial?
I DV battery. I'm in DV, so. But there,
Is the victim coming?
yes, there are 7 witnesses.
Oh,
So I'm like, I gotta prepare.
English though?
Huh?
English? That's the worst, man. Interpreter trials, oh my God.
What
And
is
when
a
it's
misdemeanor
multiple interpreter people, oh my God.
Yeah, because I'm in misdemeanor DV, so that's all I do.
Okay. Yeah.
Shoemaker's pretty laid back though. He's pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
you know.
I'm a shoemaker
Yeah.
when I was in Cali, yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to call Osceola and you. That's it, you good. Sorry.
All right, we're back on the record. I think. Jimmy Scott.
He is mentally restricted.
Thank you. You good to go?
I'm just putting stuff in his mind, 'cause I gotta review it while I feel close.
Did I screw something up?
Because the verbiage is different. Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm just gonna have to sign a investment.
Okay.
All right, and we're Scott, correct?
Yes. All right, Mr. Scott was arrested in 2020 CF 12820. Allegation being violation of condition of pretrial release. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. Scott if they weren't previously appointed.
We'll waive his appearance, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court accepts that waiver. Mr. Scott was issued no bond by Judge Wilson. He'll remain on no bond. Diane Anderson.
Looking it up now, Your Honor.
It's in medical.
Medical?
Yeah, medical, Your Honor. It's in
All right,
medical.
thank you. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Ms. Anderson in 2019 MM 1652.
Your Honor, we'd ask for this to be rolled to tomorrow. I don't have an affidavit for her.
Okay. All right, we'll recall Ms. Anderson's case.
What was her case number, Your Honor?
Case number is 2019 MM 1652. I think she was originally under a Jane Doe.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Put this one somewhere else?
Was it 41? Your Honor, Diane Anderson?
Yeah.
I apologize. We've skipped a lot of people for not showing up. I was confused. Okay, we would waive her appearance at this time.
All right, thanks.
Not because this people was in the.
Have that back.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right. The clerk's getting out her correction tape, so we'll give her just a sec. All right, we'll accept the waiver of her appearance. She was arrested based on an allegation of resisting an officer without violence, failing to appear for a plea and sentence on 10/16/2020. Judge granted a bond. Bond in the amount of $1,000. Cardell Cannon. Thank you. Yes. Mr. Cannon was arrested in 2021 MM 232. The allegation being violation of conditional pretrial release. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent his interest.
We'll waive his appearance at this time.
We'll accept that waiver. Judge Bigney issued a bond in the amount of $2,000. Stacy Santillana?
Yes.
Is that close?
Yes, Santiana.
Santiana. Ms. Santiana, you are before the court based on an allegation that you failed to appear in 2020 MM 591. That was failure to appear alleged to have been for trial on 12/2/2020. Unfortunately, the judge issued no bond. You're going to remain on no bond until you can get in front of the judge and explain things to them, and I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interest. Thanks. John Anderson.
Bond up, Your Honor.
Thank you. Zachary Cox.
Bond issue, Your Honor.
Thank you. Diego Juarez Perfecto.
Bonded, Judge.
Sean McCaig. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Is it pronounced McKeague or McCaig?
Either way, sir, it's fine with me.
How do you prefer it?
McKeag.
Mr. McKeague, good afternoon. You were arrested based on an allegation of DUI. I have reviewed the affidavit. I do find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500. And I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interest. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Kevin Rios Torres. Kevin Rios Torres.
Looking it up now for you, Your Honor. He bonded, Judge.
Bonded?
Yes,
Thank
Your
you.
Honor.
Don St. Louis.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Oh, good. Thanks for asking. You were before the court based on an allegation of driving with a suspended or revoked driver's license and failing to appear in another case, 2020 CT 5565. In the new law offense, the court is going to grant you a bond in that case in the amount of $500. I do find probable cause for your arrest. As to the case that you missed court on, that was an allegation of no valid driver's license. The bond in that case has already been set by your judge in the amount of $500, and I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you on both cases. As a condition of your bond, you're not to drive without a valid driver's license. You understand?
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Armando Koch Cruz. Thank you. Mr. Koch Cruz was arrested based on an allegation in 2021 MM1237. We'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent his interest in that case.
We'll waive his appearance, Your Honor.
Court accepts that waiver. Find probable cause for his arrest. The court will reduce bond to the amount of $100, and appoint the Office of Public Defender's already been appointed. Thanks. Edward Gibson. He's medical. I'm sorry. Mental health, thank you. All right. What do we do now? Do we reset?
Usually we want the PD and then you can ask if she wants to or have a reset.
Okay. All right, the court is inclined to appoint the Office of the Public Defender in 2021 MM63,
We'll waive
And-
his appearance, Your Honor.
2021 119.
We'll waive his appearance, Your Honor.
Thank you. I've read the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for the resisting an officer without violence and reduce bond to the amount of $250 in that case. He also has an out-of-custody warrant, out-of-county warrant. It's out of Seminole County. His failure to appear for a trespass. Bond in that case is set in the amount of $1,000. Can't tell if he's got a third. I think those are the only two issues that he has. And while he's here with us, the Office of the Public Defender will, well, he's appointed on our case. Thanks. Johan Gonzalez. Thank you. Mr. Johan Gonzalez was arrested based on an allegation in 2021 MM 1225. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent his interests in that case.
Your Honor, we'll waive his appearance.
Accept the waiver of appearance. It's an allegation of battery. Find probable cause. Will set bond the amount of $500 on this case. Mr. Gonzalez also has an out-of-county warrant out of Lake County. That is no bond in 2020 CT 3413. He has that out-of-county warrant in 2020 CT 2789 out of Lake County. That is no bond. And he has a Polk County 20005021 out of Polk County. Bond is set in the amount of $500. Juan Martinez.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Martinez.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez, you were arrested based on an allegation of battery. I took a look at the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for that initial allegation. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interest at this time. And, sorry, let me go back and evaluate that. Based on your sworn responses, you make too much money for the court to consider the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so you're going to need to talk to some private counsel. There's some good ones in town. I'll set your bond in the amount of $500, and you're to have no contact with the alleged victim in the case. Thanks. Did he not qualify?
Your Honor, we were unable to interview him prior to initial appearance. The court does have the option of sending bond, or if qualifies, if they feel that that's appropriate.
All right. We were talking about Mr. Martinez. They didn't have, PTR didn't have an opportunity. Is Mr. Martinez still here? It's going to be an or PTR. They don't know if he qualifies. Yes, please. Thank you. Hey, Mr. Martinez. The pretrial release program didn't get a chance to talk to you yet, so if you qualify, I'll release you on straight pretrial release. Otherwise, you'll have that $500 bond, okay? So they're going to be coming to talk to you. That may save you the bond money if you qualify. All right, thanks. James Stevens.
Behavior, sir.
Behavior.
That's unfortunate. We're going to reset Mr. Stevens till tomorrow. Are you Mr. Tile Kazivia? Mental health. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. Tequila Kazivia.
Your Honor, we would waive her appearance at this time, and I also have a probable cause argument.
All right, thank you. When you're ready.
Your Honor, within the four corners of the charging affidavit, we do not see any probable cause for the charge of resisting without violence. It simply states to see a supplemental report that was not given. So based off of the four corners of this document, the Office of the Public Defender would argue that there is no probable cause for the charge of resisting without.
I don't have any information that supports the allegation of resisting an officer without violence. Any additional information, State?
No, Your Honor, the state would just request a 24-hour period so that we can give the officer an opportunity to provide a supplemental report.
I need good cause for the request. I'm going to deny the request. I will set bond in count one the amount of $2,000 and RORs to count two.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bradley Vaughn.
Yes, sir.
Afternoon, Mr. Vaughn. Mr. Vaughn, you were arrested based on an allegation of possessing cannabis, possessing drug paraphernalia, and soliciting without a permit. I do find probable cause for those allegations. Bond in count one will be reduced to the amount of $250. Bond in count two will be reduced to the amount of $250. Bond in count three will remain at $100. And I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Thanks.
What about time served?
That's something to talk about with your newly appointed attorney. I appointed the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests. I guess she'll be talking to you about...
There's no offer. Your Honor, if the state, I would just ask the state if they have an offer.
Sir?
Hold on. Why don't you let your attorney talk to the state and see if something can be worked out?
But I'm saying I should be able to work it out today, dude. Oh my God.
I was going to accommodate him, but apparently he can't behave himself. John Watson. Thank you. Court will appoint the Office of the Public Defender in 2021 MM1235.
We'd waive his appearance, Your Honor.
All right. Thanks. Court accepts that waiver. I find probable cause for trespass after warning and possessing alcohol on the streets or sidewalks or alleyway. Count two is a county ordinance. I'm inclined to ROR him on that count. As to count one, trespass on property after warning, bond will be set in the amount of $500. Dustin Brown?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Brown.
How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Mr. Brown, you were before the court based on an allegation in 21 MM257. It's an out-of-county warrant for petty theft. I can't tell what county it's out of. It's out of Osceola County. You do have a bond of $100 with a special condition that you not return to any Walmart. There's also a second case, 21 CF 293. That is an out-of-county warrant alleging 2 counts. Count 1 is failure to obey a law enforcement officer's order to stop, and count 2 is driving while license suspended. Bond in count 1 is set in the amount of $5,000 pursuant to the warrant. Count 2 in the amount of $500. Finally, you have a third case in 2017 CF 3223.
Yes, Judge, he was heard on that in December.
Okay, you've already been heard on that case. So you're bondable on all your cases, sir.
Okay.
And I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. That's all right. Ms. Cunningham, are you going to be with us tomorrow? You
I
want
do
Mr.
not believe so, Your Honor.
No?
No.
All right.
I wanted to, but no.
I didn't know whether we should bring back Mr. Vaughn tomorrow, see if somebody could go out and talk to him. If he wishes to resolve his case, we could accomplish that tomorrow.
I can't, you can bring him back and I can inform the APD that'll be here tomorrow what's
That's
going
fine.
on.
Yeah, we'll add Mr. Vaughn for the end of the docket tomorrow.
So you wanna, say his bond, but then you wanna have him release at what tomorrow as well?
We'll stay as, well, I reduced his bonds, I think.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we'll reset him for tomorrow. Adrian Delgado Reyes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a new one.
Thank you. Mr. Delgado Reyes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
You were arrested based on out-of-county warrants. Let's see. Can't tell from the header sheet what where the warrants are out of.
Pinellas, Your Honor.
I think it's just one.
It is.
They usually just send 2 copies.
Gotcha. It's one case. It's 2018 CF 1367. It's a felony allegation out of Pinellas County. Unfortunately, that judge has issued no bond. You're going to remain on no bond with us. We'll notify Pinellas County that you're here and see if anything can be done about your bond. You look puzzled. Do you have a question?
What exactly is the charge? What happened?
There was an allegation, a felony offense allegation in 2018 CF 13670. The allegation is count 1, violation of probation, count 1, felony battery, count 2, possessing cocaine, no bond. The warrant was issued on 2/11/2021. So, looks like a violation of probation allegation. Sean Eisenhart.
Medical, Your Honor.
Thank you. Eisenhart, medically quarantined, I guess. Right, Mr. Eisenhart is with us on an out-of-county warrant in 2020 MM 051016. I don't want to appoint the Office of the Public Defenders. I don't know what to do about him. I guess I'm going to have to reset him. He doesn't have any local charges.
Your Honor, since he's in medical due to COVID, he's not going to be able to come out for another 2 weeks. So
Right.
I don't
Is
know.
Is the Public Defender's Office accepting appointment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. Eisenhart.
And we'll waive his appearance at this time.
Thank you. He's got an out-of-county warrant for failing to appear in Broward County, and he's got no bond. So I don't know if he's going anywhere, but we'll notify Brevard, excuse me. We'll notify Brevard County that he's here with us.
It's also about an open Orange County case, Your Honor. 2020 MM 4673.
Okay, I didn't see that one on the sheet. I'm sorry, he's out on bond on another case, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's 2020 MM 4673. I don't know if the warrant violated his release in that case, so I'm going to take no action as to that one. He's got a no bond, I thought. Oh, it's showing 1,000. Okay. All right. I don't know why I made the note that there was no bond. Apparently he does have a bond in his out-of-county warrant in 2020 MM 51016. And bond is set in the amount of $1,000. My apology. Evelyn Harkins. Thanks. I had a question mark on Ms. Harkins' case. I got a note from Inmate Records Management that there was a date of birth issue on this case. Are we sure that we've got the right Evelyn Harkins?
Look into it, Judge. Give me one moment, please. Yes, Judge, she's been identified by her fingerprints.
Thank you. All right, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent her interest in 2019 MM 4326. I'm satisfied that she's been identified by fingerprints and is the right person.
Your Honor, we'll waive her appearance.
Thank you. She's here before the court on an out-of-county warrant on 2019 MM 4326. That warrant carries no bond. She'll remain on no bond. She's also here on, is this all the same? I think they identified her by fingerprints is what they said. She's also here on 2019 MM 859 out-of-county warrant. She has no bond. She'll remain on no bond. And the Office of the Public Defender will be appointed on that case as well. You wish to waive?
Yes, Your Honor.
We'll accept that waiver. Thank you. Eugene Holsey?
Yes, sir.
Afternoon, Mr. Holsey.
All right.
All right, Mr. Holsey, you are here with us in two cases, 2016-13375 and 2016-15486. These are warrants out of another county. Try and give you some information. Okay, these are writs of bodily attachment out of Duval County. So I don't know what's going on with Duval County,
Child
but
support? Yeah, see, I'm on unemployment, and they gave me my what they call it, they issued a warning in December. I ain't get my first check until January.
Yes, sir.
For unemployment, so they started taking money out, but they wasn't doing it yet because I had to wait for them to accept me for unemployment. So that's what I get now, unemployment.
okay. I don't know much about your case because it originated out of Duval County. I do note on the writ of bodily attachment there is a purge amount in the amount of $1,500. I'm going to assess that to both counts. So for a total of $1,500, that apparently is what was contemplated by the judge.
I lost my job due.
What's that?
I lost my job due to COVID-19. I filed unemployment. I'm on unemployment as of right now. And unemployment they showed me the percentage they was going to take out for child support. I'm in here for something I'm doing now. I'm paying child support. But
Okay.
unemployment, I had to wait on, give me a check.
I hear what you're telling me. We're trying to figure out what your purge amount is, so you got the right information to make some decisions with it. So give me just a minute. I show, I guess, the one count, case number 1613375, purge amount of $1,500. $13375, 13376. That's $1,500.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yep.
There's two writs, Your Honor. One is for $750, the other is for $1,500, with a total of $2,250.
Okay, I'm also showing a third. I think there's a third warrant. Let me take a quick look. They did. Okay. So one purge amount is $1,500. Judge Healy issued that. The other purge amount is $750. Judge Healy's going to be notified that you're here with us on that writ of bodily attachment. And if Judge Healy authorizes us to change that, we can do that from here. Otherwise, we'll ship it down to
So I just sit and wait?
Duval. I'm appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interest on this case so we don't lose track of you.
Okay.
Well, that's a writ of bodily attachment. It's not a criminal offense. I don't know if I can appoint. I'm going to withdraw the appointment of the Public Defender's Office. Sir Holsey, I'm going to contact Judge Healy.
Okay. And they gonna send me back to Jacksonville?
Well, they'll notify Duval County that you're here, and I guess that's up. So they'll notify Duval County. I'm going to call Judge Healy and see whether Judge Healy will authorize the court to do anything about those purge amounts from here. If not, you're going to have to get in front of him.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Rhett Hopkins.
Your Honor, please behavior.
Behavior. We'll reset Mr. Hopkins till tomorrow. Dimitri Jordan.
He is medically restricted.
Mr. Jordan is before us on a violation of probation allegation out of another county in 2018 CF 2600. Looks like that's out of Osceola County. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent his interests.
Your Honor, we'll waive his appearance at this time.
Accept that waiver. He's on a no bond warrant. He's going to remain on no bond until he can get him over to Orange County. Thank you. Yes. Sarah Trover.
Yes, sir.
Good
Your Honor.
afternoon.
May I give us, I have an order from Calderon on the case that she was listed as out on bond for. May I?
Yes, please.
He's already aware of the case that she was picked up on, so I closed the detainer regarding the open case for Orange County.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. I was just handed some
I just,
paperwork. Taking a look at it. Give me just a minute. So this is just for the court dates, madam?
Oh, Your Honor, there was a detainer placed for her open case. However, that detainer was closed out due to the fact that Judge Calderon is clearly already aware of her warrant that she was arrested on, as it's reflected on the court document.
Okay. Mr. Trover, you were here before the court based on a out-of-county warrant in 2020 MM 1192. That is a warrant.
it's saying I have a failure to appear, and I have never a failure to appear that I'm aware of.
All right, let me see if I can get you some
I think
information.
there might just be a misprint or something come up.
Apparently, there was a pretrial diversion rejection on a petty theft allegation, and there must have been some hearing that.
But they didn't ever inform me of that, so.
Okay, well, you've got a bond on that case, and it's in the amount of $2,000.
Okay, I just got to have the hold lifted up.
I'm sorry?
I said I need to have that hold lifted up so I can bond out.
We're going to talk about that
I-
next.
Okay, yes, sir.
All right. So on the misdemeanor case, the failure to appear warrant, you are bondable. Apparently, Judge Calderon knows about the out-of-county warrant and has set you court dates already, and you're placed back on the trial docket. I don't have specific dates for you, though. Are you represented by the public defender in that case?
Yes.
All right. You're ordered
And
to...
tomorrow's my daughter's 18th birthday. I really need to be at home for her, please. She turns 18
I'm going to
tomorrow.
take no action on the 2020 CF 12751B case based on Judge Calderon being aware of the out-of-county warrant. So, did you bond out on that case?
Yeah, I got to bond out on this
I
one.
think, but I think what I just said should lift that hold.
Yes, Judge.
All right. So you're bondable on the failure to appear.
Okay. And how do I fix that? Because I didn't know about it.
Well-
Like, I don't need that on my record to look like I don't go to court, you know?
Understood. You've got a bond. When you get out, contact the public defender's office, have them
Okay.
start looking into that misdemeanor case number. And then we'll see you in Osceola County. Thanks.
Thank you so much. You guys have a great day.
You as well. Thanks, Madam Pretrial Release Officer. Melissa Cox.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Ms. Cox, you are with us based on a violation of probation allegation in 2018 CF 8933, and a new law offense of driving while license suspended or revoked. I read the new law offense, and I'm going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you on that case.
Yes,
I do
sir.
find probable cause for your initial arrest. I note that you are out on, I note that you are on probation
Yes.
on the allegation of public assistance fraud.
Yes. And I'm currently paying that as well, trying to pay my license because my son's autistic and his school is in Daytona Beach. And I'm really trying to get him there without just his father doing it.
Was this an on-view, no bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, I do find an on-view violation of probation as there's probable cause to believe you committed a new law offense while you were on probation. I'm going to set a bond in that case.
Yes, sir.
Bond will be set in the amount of $750.
Yes, sir.
You are to continue to report to probation,
Yes, sir.
and you'll be notified as to your violation of probation hearing date, if any, okay?
Okay, because I was told it was, so I won't get it here.
I don't have any dates for you.
Okay.
So I would get out.
To my
I'm gonna
office.
have you check into probation by Monday at 2 o'clock,
Yes, sir.
and then they'll explain to you what the next steps are.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Good luck.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. I gave her a bond, I thought, in the... I gave her a bond, stayed the bond at $500. Yeah. Daquan Davis?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Davis.
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm okay, thanks for asking. Mr. Davis, you were arrested based on an based on an in-county warrant. Your judge has since moved to Osceola County, but this is an Orange County warrant alleging that you violated probation in 2017, CF 4828. Unfortunately, Judge Young issued no bond. You're going to remain on no bond with us until you can get in front of the judge in Division 14, and I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent your interests.
Yes, sir.
Thanks. Charles Conyers?
Your Honor, he's on medical.
All right, thanks. He's medical. Right, on Mr. Conyers' case, 2021 MO 244. This is a ordinance violation of alcoholic beverages. Court's going to ROR, and I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent his interest.
We'll waive his appearance at this time, Your Honor.
Thank you. Right, that's the last of the cases that I have on my docket. Anybody have any additional cases that need to be heard this afternoon?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thanks for your patience. Good afternoon. See you tomorrow.